myself will suffer the consequences. The wisdom of Elijah's inside of the conscientious, so I move.
Grace and peace, Black family. This is Vicky Dillard, your sister with the curly braids. And I want you to get ready for the new Master Elements project, The Spear and the Shield.
This vaccine isn't experimental. It's like a dandelion. You overlooking for their weird science.
DJ RP Beats and Sincere Love the God have taken this time during the pandemic to carefully craft the soundtrack to Black empowerment with hot tracks like God Mine, featuring Sadat X of the legendary group Brand Nubians.
We never die. I made an ancestral shrine. Let's see what's in the God's mind. Listen, I'm a law in the person of Sincere Love the God. That mean your arms too short like Carl Anthony Shaw.
God painted me black.
God painted me black. Thanks for that. I'm a original man.
A letter to Dr. Francis Cress Welsing.
I say to the ancestors, dear Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, I just wanted to thank you for all the lessons you left us. So yes, I'm more than grateful.
And the controversial song Buck Breaking God today.
Why every black show they gotta have a transgender? Either I'm crazy or this gotta be a planned agenda.
Get ready, Black family. This is a much needed project. This is The Spear and the Shield.
Celebrate foundational Black American culture of freedom, fighting, and resistance with the first annual Aretha 5K run. This cultural experience will honor our FBA ancestors and icons while harnessing energy from our past to power our future. There will be security at this event to ensure everyone has a safe and enjoyable experience. Aretha Run is a cultural event for family and friends. Strollers and wheelchairs are welcome. The in-person event will include a free 1-mile fun walk and will be held on December 17th in Tampa, Florida. Unable to make the live event, you can also participate virtually anywhere from December 17th to December 30th. All registered participants will receive the official Aretha Run finisher medal, t-shirt, and more with the ability to upload their race time to the official site. Live event participants will receive the time race scores, professional finisher photo, video, and your name will be announced as you're welcomed across the finish line. Enjoy the post-race after party and refuel with a traditional FBA breakfast. You can also help us settle fun family debates like sugar or salt and grits. Prepare with family workouts and runs and post on social media using the hashtag ArethaRun. For registered info and sponsorship opportunities, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Click the link in the bio. Hope to see you all there.
As an emerging Black middle class slips into the mainstream, it faces questions about the duty to stay Black. I mean, Black is something you just take on and take off. Is that what we have here? You know, uplift poor Blacks and promote Black culture. Is that what is going on in the Black middle class? The Black middle class now is deciding whether it will stay Black. You mean it has a choice of being other than Black? And is it now questioning whether it will continue to uplift poor Blacks and promote Black culture? These concerns are reflected in the work and action of Black filmmakers, writers, artists, and others. Who's Blacker? Clarence Thomas or Thurgood Marshall? Spike Lee or poet activist Amiri Baraka? They've all been cross-examined in the media in racial terms. Whose media? New York Times, November 30th, 1991. In a 90s quest for Black identity, intense doubts and disagreement. Lena Williams of the New York Times. I hope one day, Simultab, and maybe you're doing this already, can perhaps call together these Black journalists and so forth and educate them a bit as well. So we get here, the ever-changing Black experience in America is being assessed with a new intensity. Skin color, how you talk, more specifically, what you say, how you live your life, are examples of the tests being used to determine what it means to be Black in the 1990s. Not since the tumultuous 1960s has there been such an intense focus on Blackness. and it jumps over to talks about books and news articles. The topic range from what's black, who's black, what's not, to black like who. Films like School Days, Living Large, Strictly Business have used satire to explore racial conflict and contradiction among blacks. And they quote psychologists from DePaul University: aside from skin color, there's something to being ethnically black in terms of outlook on life, values, and beliefs. It goes on to say some blacks say that Black Americans cannot afford to waste time on such issues when so many blacks face a multitude of problems like drug abuse, unemployment, prejudice, and the disproportion of blacks among crime victims. And it's an amazing statement here. We would argue that to a great good extent, a lot of the issues just mentioned flow from the attempt to separate us from our identity, and in many instances reflect issues around people who are trying to escape their identity. I made the argument in Black on Black violence that the Black on Black criminal, to a great extent, is a white racist in black skin. A person who has internalized white racist attitudes and has identified with his victimizers and expresses his victimization by victimizing other black people. That his behavior reflects the absence of an appropriate Black and African identity. And that much of the unemployment and much of the other issues flow from an absence or an incomplete African identity.
All right, family. That is the great Dr. Amos Wilson right there. I see some of y'all shouting them out in the chat. Appreciate y'all tapping in early. Much love to the ancestor, Dr. Amos Wilson. You know we like to start off the show with a poignant, pertinent message from one of the warrior scholars, one of the master teachers usually. You know what I'm saying? In order to start the show off and give you all a chance to climb into the chat room, click the like button, click the share button, let everybody know that we are live on your social media platforms, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and click the notification bell so you can be reminded whenever we go live with new episodes of Sincere Love the Godcast. Thank you all for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. I am the God, Sincere Love, in the digital building with my co-host, nyctegur. What's going on?
What's up, y'all? It's hot. Y'all, it's hot.
Yeah, it's definitely hot. It's hot.
91 here today. 91. It's humid. It's sticky. Like, yeah, y'all lucky I just wasn't naked on here today.
Relatable. Shout out to Paris LaShawn. Appreciate you joining us, good brother. Shout out to my dude Cool Keezy. Virgo Venom, peace to you.
My bestie is a Virgo.
I think the music is good. I think the music is at a good volume. That's why I had it at the last couple of times. It sounds loud in my headphones though. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. Let me turn this down just a little bit. All right, that's cool right there. Cause I'm ready to start jamming this shit. That shit bumping in my head.
Right? You probably start breaking.
But we here, family. We here on another Sunday, ready to chop up good game like we always do.
As per usual, a lot going on.
Yes, a lot going on. I seen you putting hella stories inside the back channel. I know we ain't getting to half of them shits today.
Right.
Ain't no way in hell we gonna get through all of that. I was like, God damn.
But we're gonna get to some stuff. We're gonna get to the important stuff. It's all important, you know, but we're gonna get to it. But we can't. Exactly.
What was I about to say, man? Oh man. Something was just I was about to say. I slipped my mind.
When you know.
Shit, that shit been happening since I was young. That shit been happening since I was young.
No, you one of them selective memory Negroes.
What the hell I was about to say? You know, you ever walk to the kitchen and forget what you went in there for?
Yes, and I hate that. Looking around, opening up the cabinets, the refrigerator, like, what did I want?
You ain't want nothing, just greedy. Just plain old greedy. But yeah, today, you know, we just got general topics. No specific theme for the show today. Just black politics as usual.
Right.
Black politics as usual. So, what we got going on, man? Where you want to start this thing off at? Let me open up the.
Can we start off with a great announcement?
Yes, actually, yes.
How can we start?
Actually, I think we should wait. I think we should wait till some people come in, though.
Okay. All right. So, since we're not going to start with that, first I want to tell everybody welcome to the Sincere Love the Godcast Sunday episode, as we talk all things pertaining to the Black community. So that could be news, obviously news, you know, and certain things on social media, you know, pop culture as well. We tap into. So I guess we can start with, since it's a big topic, I guess I can start here. Monkeypox.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Do we have to?
Well, so let me start here, because this one right here is, I guess, more. I'll get to the CDC in a minute.
Try to codify your language a little bit, because I don't know where they're going with this, and it might be on the same stuff they was on with the last, you know, pandemic.
Only thing I'm going to say is be safe, you know, and report the news. I don't have, you know, anything, you know, bad to say, you know, or good to say about it, other than report what the CDC has specified on their website. And so they're stating basically the CDC recommends masturbation 6 feet apart, sex with clothes on.
Hold on. Wait, what?
I mean,
wait.
I don't.
Why are you doing this?
This is guidelines. This is honest, like all BS aside, these are some guidelines that they have
on the CDC website.
On the CDC website, y'all. I mean,
all right, what was the first one? What was the first one?
Let me back up because my phone locked. Sorry. CDC recommends masturbation, staying, you know, doing the 6 feet apart thing, you know, I guess in public spaces like we were doing, you know, during COVID, how they have the spaces in the stores, you know, keeping the 6 feet distance amongst each other. You know.
So is this an STD?
So what has been coming out is that it has more cases have been with men that are gay or bisexual. Most of the cases, not to say that this is a gay disease, it's just those are the people that have been contracting it the most.
So I saw black gay men are leading in the statistics as far as
so now. I personally haven't seen any black men on social media, you know, with it, but a lot of them have come, you know, black. I've seen a black female with it.
No, I seen some black moist dudes showing they bumps and all of that, and actually, you know, my wife is a nurse, and there was a black dude, you know, I don't know his name or nothing, you know, she can't tell me who the person was or whatever, but she was just saying what happened at the job. There was a dude in there who has it, and he went live from the hospital room asking people to sending food and stuff like that. And then she said a whole bunch of people were sending Uber Eats all day long to the hospital.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? And so, we're in Atlanta. So, the numbers keep going up out here. But I'm looking I'm looking at what the media, how the media is angling this thing up already. You know what I'm saying?
I was going there.
The white mainstream media. Go ahead. Let me let you go where you go.
Yeah, I was going there. So right now, mainstream media is saying that, most of the cases are in black and brown, people. They're going into that angle again. So basically, black people are the face of not just, C-19, but also monkeypox. Mm-hmm. We're the new face of anything that, medical crazy.
Right. And specifically they're saying, like I said,
I'm gonna pull it
black and Latino LGBT people. Right? So it just seems to me like they're trying to, again, stitch together this coalition, this non-existent coalition. You know what I mean?
I hear that.
I feel like it's just a chess move.
Yeah.
I don't know what, I'm trying to see what the next move is going to be, but it seems like one of them setup moves in the chess game where you setting somebody up for the kill. You know what I mean? But who knows where they're about to take it with this thing. And to me, this is going to be more effective. Peace, what's going on? Mama Love, nyctegur, what's going on?
Peace,
Tamisha.
y'all.
To me, man, you think it was crazy with the C-19 situation. I think they have the ability to really shake things up with the masses with this one because it's more scary because of how it looks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
It is scary. It's very scary.
I don't know where it's going, man. I don't know where it's going.
So has your state declared a state of emergency yet? Because ours has.
No, New York, California, and I seen another state. I forgot what was the other state. If anybody knows, y'all can put it in the chat. But yeah, just a couple of states, 2 or 3 states so far that I've seen declared a state of emergency, but not here in Georgia, not yet.
Yeah, and the girl that I saw, she basically said that she worked at a 7-Eleven or a gas station, and she believes that she contracted it through exchanging money.
Illinois,
so yeah, get your hand sanitizer. If you guys got to go out, wear gloves, maybe. I don't know. Whatever you need to do to protect yourselves, of course, and maintaining that distance. And yeah. Be safe.
Yeah, that's all I can say at this point. I ain't really got too much to say about it. I ain't gonna come out with the suede kufi just yet.
No.
You know what I mean? But
well, I do know that they do have a vaccine for it. For those that would like to, do that, I would say go to the CDC website and do your own research and see if that's the right fit for you. Talk to your doctor if you feel like you've been exposed.
Right. That was quick.
Yeah.
That was mighty quick. But all right. What else we got?
Moving on. All right. So another one that's kind of top news that I think this got announced on, was it Friday, if I'm not mistaken? But the federal government or the Department of Justice has now arrested the officers that were involved in the murder of our sister, Breonna Taylor. As you guys know, AG Daniel Cameron, he refused to do anything. And I guess he's running for something out there in Kentucky. He was at some public event. He was doing some speech and people just started booing him like crazy because a lot of people were upset, obviously, with the fact that, he did not charge them, with anything. He didn't even try, you know what I'm saying? So he got booed like he should have been booed. Boo! Get your ass out of here. Yeah. Right.
And the fact that the DOJ stepped in and did what you weren't willing to do, because we all know the DOJ ain't shit. You know what I mean?
Why are they doing it? Why are they doing it all of a sudden?
Exactly, because you know what time it is. We heading toward this election season, they have to try to pretend to be doing something specific for black people. And Breonna Taylor's black. You know, and we all want justice for Breonna Taylor, of course. This isn't, they don't have charges or investigation or whatever it is specifically about the murder. No. This is about falsifying. Yeah. Falsifying.
So it's still another slap in the face. So it's still a slap in the face to me, right? Because you're still not holding them accountable for the murder of this sister.
Yeah, they're still dragging ass.
They tried to, basically blame her boyfriend. They actually arrested him, for trying to protect her and himself. So, it's still a slap in the face as far as I'm concerned.
They still dragging ass. This is something that should have been done off top from the very beginning. Right. I mean, it was people from, what was it, the Postal Service or UPS or FedEx or one of them, that the police department was communicating with somebody from there to try to help them set the whole thing up, to say that they was getting suspicious packages or whatever.
It was the regular U.S. Post Office.
Yeah, it's the post office. And then people came out early and said, "Nah, it wasn't no suspicious packages going over there. Like, nah, we ain't have nothing to do with that." This is the stuff from that a long time ago. So these charges should have been filed off top from the beginning. And, it's better late than never. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad, that something is being done. But we see what the play is. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we see what the play is. You know what I'm saying? This is like a little, trying to throw the dog a bone type of scenario. And, I still give, somewhat props to the people that's been on the ground out there trying to get something done. Benjamin Crump, Tamika Mallory, and my son and them. I saw them at the press conference and everything. And, whatever part that y'all played in getting this done, I salute that. I'll say that.
Absolutely. And I guess, got to get something, out of it. Still slap in the face of the family, because it's not about the murder. It's about the warrant. But we're going to still, hopefully they get some real time, because for all we know, they can get probation. It's still, we don't know. Shout
out to that chick named Star. What you know about that? What you know about that?
Another play I believe that the Democrats, are playing, because obviously election season, and our sister Teslin also made a good point. And I'm going to read a post that she made today on Twitter. And it says, could it be that the Biden administration is using Brittany Griner, because obviously this sister was just convicted in Russia to 9 years in Russian prison for vaping. So is the Biden administration using Brittany Griner as emotional leverage to keep us mad at Russia to help us feel better about giving Ukraine $40 billion?
That's an interesting angle.
I'm sure they would like to bring her home. I'm just saying, Russia is going to Russia, and the U.S. should bring her home and bring us the bag. And when I believe when she's saying us, I believe she's talking about foundational Black Americans, because, Teslin has been.
Oh, Teslin, okay.
She's been talking about reparations. She's been talking about, an anti-hate crime, anti-Black hate crime bill. She's been talking about tangibles. So, and even if she's talking about obviously other people, right? The resources should be going to the American people, period. Specifically foundational Black Americans, because, that's what I am. But the resources should be home. The resources should go to foundational Black Americans. We have too many homeless vets here. Here in California, I want to say it's 56% of the homeless are black men specifically. So we shouldn't be sending $40 billion, to another country, and we have problems here that we need to rectify, and fix. So
that's a whole fact. And so let's talk about the Brittany Griner situation for a minute. You know what I'm saying? That's another still a hot topic right now. It's going on, like you said. She's been sentenced to 9 years in the Russian prison for basically an empty vape pen. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is a political thing on the part of Russia. It's straight politics with them. They're at war. You know what I'm saying? The U.S. is holding down the people that they at war with. So this is a chess move as far as they're concerned.
Yep.
and we see the Biden administration kind of pump faking a little bit about finally doing something. You know what I mean? Since this has been going on, the media and these white LGBT people have been trying to point the finger at black men, NBA players, and why the black community not standing up for Britney and this, that, and the third. That's been the narrative they've been trying to push. It hasn't really gained much momentum. People have pushed back on that majorly and say, hey, first of all, white LGBT community, y'all the one with all the resources and the political clout and all of that. Why y'all not doing that? Why y'all not speaking up? Y'all love to use black people as y'all mascots to try to get resources allocated towards y'all. Then you don't share the resources with the black people. And I've even heard, I won't say black members of the LGBT community, but black people who are gay, because there's a difference. Just because you gay don't, you know what I'm saying, don't mean that you're part of that community. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people just automatically conflate that. The person is gay, they just say they're part of the LGBT community. But the LGBT community is actually an organization with infrastructure and resources, and you know what I'm saying? And so just having a certain sexual lifestyle don't make you a part of that community.
Absolutely.
My gay black brothers and sisters out there, I need y'all to understand that. Y'all not a part of that community. And this Brittany Griner situation should be evidence enough for y'all that they really don't give a damn, because they silence is loud as a motherfucker.
I hope it was it resonated with her and her wife, you know, and even with her wife, because she was quiet for a while and obviously just, you know, discussing things behind the scene. And so she was upset because I think this election year was their first time ever voting, decided to vote for Biden. And so when they were trying to talk to the administration about doing something about bringing her home, they kept being told to wait, kind of like they did with Ice Cube. Just wait, you know, don't go public with anything. Just wait, you know, we'll get to you later, you know, and here we are, you know, months later. And honestly, they moved pretty quick because I believe she's been in there since February. So to me, they kind of moved pretty quick, but the Biden administration really didn't do anything, literally to me, till the 11th hour when it came to even speaking out about it.
Right.
You know, they did nothing. They left that girl hanging big time.
Right.
And this is an American.
Right. And so I want to touch on what you just said right there, because somebody called up to one of the spaces the other day and asked Tariq what he thinks Brittany Griner's move should be after all of this is said and done. What should her positioning be now that she's had this experience and all of that? And I think that's part of the squeeze that they putting on right now. They trying to make sure that she's going to be team white supremacy. She's going to be team white LGBT when it's all said and done, because they're allowing it to go this far before they intervene. And then they're going to, you know, right now they're supposedly negotiating about trading off one of these Russian arms dealers or whatever the case may be. Yeah. Tariq been calling that for a long time. He been called that play. Yeah. Months and months ago, he been called that play. Like, look, if they really want to do something, all they got to do is trade one of them, you know, Russian POWs they got over here. And they came out and said that they was going to do just that. And so supposedly they're negotiating that right now. But I think the reason why they're dragging it this far is to put that squeeze on her, to make her like her head is in the guillotine. And then at the last minute, they're going to take her head out the guillotine and say, now you work for us now. You know what I'm saying? We got your ass out this jam. You're going to be an icon when this is said and done. A lot of us ain't know who Brittany Griner was before this situation. No. You know what I'm saying? No. She's a bigger star overseas than she is in America. You know what I mean? But now her name is going to be iconic and associated with this whole thing, you know, and so they want to make sure that icon status is attributed to the Democrats and the white LGBT community, not the black community. You know what I'm saying? No. And so I think that's what the play is with that shit.
Now, is she biracial? Is she biracial?
I'm not sure. Just looked like a light-skinned black girl to me.
Yeah, I mean, to me too, but I thought I saw something like that, and I didn't confirm it, but I thought I saw something pertaining to that, you know, but yeah, Tariq.
Her wife is black too, right?
Yeah, her wife is definitely Black, and she followed all the instructions that she was told. But after a while, her patience wore thin, and she, spoke out against the administration finally, because she's like, look, like, I did everything I was told to do. Shit is getting real. What are y'all going to do? I'm not going to be quiet anymore. Help us. So, and now we have a conviction. And again, who knows how long these negotiations are going to take? How long does she have to sit there until that happens?
Right. It's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? I hope that, she does come home and get out of that situation. Absolutely. At the same time, it's a lot of brothers and sisters that's locked up over here doing, you know what I'm saying? Doing football numbers behind some weed, man. Let everybody go.
Let everybody go.
Don't be a hypocrite.
I posted Tamika Drummer. She's in Mississippi. She got caught with, I believe it was 2 grams of weed. Now, she was a third striker, but she basically got pulled over because she had a broken tail light in the car that she was in. They found 2 grams of weed. I don't even know what that is, to be honest. I don't know.
Ain't nothing 2 blunts. That's 2 blunts.
Oh, okay. And so that turned into life in prison for this sister, and she has been locked down so far for 14 years.
I didn't see that one. I saw a brother that had a life sentence for like 1.5 ounces, which is still not a lot of weed. You know what I'm saying?
And I believe he's in Mississippi too. I want to say he's in Mississippi too, right?
You might be right. I'm not sure. But yeah, man. Don't be a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? Let's be fair all across the board. You know what I mean?
So did you want to play the stud praise dancers that were, praying and dancing for Brittany Griner?
Not really, but you can put it in there. You gotta put it in there.
I mean, why not? I thought it was cute. Personally, I thought it was kind of cute. I thought it was hilarious, but it was funny. It's definitely hilarious. And the fact that it was serious, like the looks on their faces.
Exactly. Y'all was serious about this. Okay. But by the way, family, we do have an announcement coming up, and shortly we're gonna have an announcement for the family. So make sure that you share this out. Let everybody know that we live, and we about to make an important announcement in just a few minutes. So stay tuned for that. But let me pull this up right here. Is it gonna open another page? Oh no,
it shouldn't. It shouldn't.
Oh, I don't want to play the music though. I don't want to play the music, but y'all know the music. Y'all know the music they praise dancing to. Hold up.
Weight on my shoulder.
That right there. It's the stud praise dance team. Shout out to the studs.
I just cannot. This was hilarious.
I was like, damn, I got to get back in the gym, man. But
they got a whole routine though. They had choreography and everything.
They put this thing together. They had
choreography and everything. That was so hilarious. I said,
with me, together we are going.
You can't make this stuff up.
What's up, son?
You cannot make this
Is it okay if I do a different game that Dapper plays?
Is it okay if you what?
Is it okay if I do a different game that Dapper plays?
On the computer?
Mm-hmm.
Long as it's something that's okay. Go ahead.
I'm gonna do one of those Marvel games.
All right, go ahead.
Next story?
Yeah, let's do one more story and then we'll make the announcement.
Okay, I want to do this one because I'm just upset. It makes me upset. It makes me sad. And it's like, what else do we need to do to get what is owed, to be repaired, to be restored after the atrocities that happened to our people, and in this situation, people that are still alive. So this is on APnews.com. Judge says, this is August 4th, Tulsa race massacre victim descendants cannot sue.
Right.
An Oklahoma judge says 6 descendants of victims of the 1921 Tulsa race massacre cannot sue for reparations, while allowing 3 known survivors of the attack, in which a white mob descended on a predominantly black neighborhood, to move forward with the lawsuit. So, and let me say this, I do not like the fact that they always say white mob and not talk about the white government also. You know what I'm saying? It was a white mob, yes, that probably got it crunk, but the government also assisted.
Absolutely. Hold on, my bad. Hold on. I clicked on one of these damn pop-ups.
And while I keep skipping that up, I'll keep reading. The order signed Tuesday by Tulsa County District Judge Carolyn Wall allows Leslie Benningfield, Mother Randall, she's 106 years old, Viola Mother Fletcher, she's 107 years old, and Hughes Van Ellis Sr., who's 101 years old, to continue seeking reparations under state nuisance laws. These people are still alive, you guys. You know how they tell us that we need to get over the past and, pull ourselves up and, forget about it. We hear Tethers a lot saying that. And as well as white people, telling us that we need to get over the past. But these people, lives were stolen in a way. You know what I'm saying? And they're still alive and well and can remember their loved ones, their families, some of their parents, were taken from them. And you mean to tell me they get nothing? They get nothing.
This plays into what we are doing as far as delineation also, and why it's important. This kind of exemplifies why what we're doing is very important as far as the reparations claim, because this is essentially a reparations claim for the survivors of the Tulsa massacre and their descendants. And so the reason why they justify dismissing some of these plaintiffs, it says, in addition to the 6 descendants, Wall dismissed as plaintiffs the historic Vernon AME Church, Inc., which did not exist in 1921, the Tulsa African Ancestry Society, which represents other descendants, and she dismissed as defendants the Tulsa Development Authority and the Tulsa Metropolitan Area Planning Commission, because they did not exist in 1921. So you have these entities who were plaintiffs as well as defendants in this case, who were non-entities during the time of the massacre, and that's what they used to justify dismissing their case. And so that's the same thing if we allow people who were not who didn't help build America to be a part of the reparations claim. That's
if we make the race based.
Right. That's an alley-oop for them to just throw the case out. You know what I'm saying?
Know that.
Right. They know that. They're well aware of that. But in this situation, I think it's a little bit different. I think they use that as an excuse. But these entities weren't saying that they were the aggrieved. From what I understand reading that article, they weren't saying that they were the aggrieved party. They were representing the descendants of the aggrieved parties. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was fair game for them to be involved with the case. But it's real tricky, man. It's real tricky when you're dealing with the court of law, and when they don't want you to get justice in the first place. You got to make sure that you cross every T and dot every I.
Exactly. Which is again why we cannot do race-based reparation, and it has to be lineage-based.
Right.
All right, drum roll.
All right, make that announcement.
Drum roll. Do we have sound effects?
I wish I had some damn sound effects, man. This the best you got. This the best I got ready for you right here. Cue the Beyonce.
See, you play too much.
Why you get mad for? Why you grit your teeth like that?
Listen. I mean, I'm a fan a little bit. Well, a little bit. I still have not listened to one song yet, though. Not one.
All right. Well, if you do, listen to the song called "Heated."
That's
And
me.
y'all can see me. And y'all can see me. Y'all can see me jamming to that on my story right now. If you go to my story on Instagram. But anyway, let's get to the announcement, man. Let's let the people know what we got going on Sincere Love the Godcast, man. It's been a long wait.
Y'all, it's been a long wait, but guess what? Season 2 of the Sincere Love the Godcast Black Business Showcase is back this Wednesday.
Yes, indeed.
So,
yes, indeed.
We also have a new time. It's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So no excuses. Y'all can already have dinner cooked. You know what I'm saying? Kids fed, all that stuff, and tap in with
can't help you right now,
Black Business Showcase on Sincere Love the Godcast. I'm not going to tell you guys who our first guest is going to be, though. I'm going to save that.
You not?
Flyer. I'm not going to do that. You guys are going to have to wait to see who the first episode guest is going to be. But we are back this Wednesday, y'all. This Wednesday, we are back 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, and I am so stoked.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The Black Business Showcase is back in business for season 2, and we got a crazy lineup for y'all so far. Oh man, y'all gonna be happy. Y'all gonna be happy to tap in with some of the guests that we got lined up for y'all this season. I want to tell y'all. She said she don't want to say the names yet. That's fine. That's fine. Y'all gonna have to just wait until we put the flyer out in the next couple of days to see who the first guest is gonna be. The first guest is gonna be fire, y'all.
Fire.
The first guest is
Can
gonna
we get
be
some
fire.
emojis in the chat?
Yeah, the first guest is gonna be a lot of gems. Make sure that you pull up. That's gonna be this Wednesday.
This Wednesday.
Oh, it's gonna be at a different time than the normal time, though, right?
Correct. We're doing 6 p.m. Eastern Standard, 6 p.m. Pacific. I thought still with him too.
No, hold on. Let me look at the email because he confirmed at a different time.
Remember, I don't have the email.
I wanted to be able to accommodate him. Yeah, I wanted to be able to accommodate him before he get too busy. Let me just take another look at that real quick. Oh, actually, let me go to my DM.
Yeah, but y'all, we have such an exciting lineup. You guys, let me just say this too. We already, all of August, September, we already tapping into October. And can I tell y'all the Black Business Showcase about to be lit?
Yeah, for sure. So it's gonna be this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. We got a great guest coming on to set off the season 2 of the Black Business Showcase, and we got a lot of great guests lined up after that as well. So y'all definitely don't want to miss near episode this season. It's gonna be lit. If you haven't been keeping up with us with season 1 of the Black Business Showcase, make sure that you go back and watch the previous episodes. If you go on this page right here, Sincere Love the God on Instagram, on YouTube, go to the playlist entitled the Black Business Showcase, and you can catch up on all of the episodes from season 1. We had some crazy guests on that one. That went exceptionally well for our first season. And so season 2 is going to be no different. We finna bring the pain, like Brother Martin be saying.
Right.
We finna bring the pain. So get ready. Nah, I'm hype about that though. I didn't know what to expect, to tell you the truth. We did our last episode in May.
Yeah.
We ended season 1 in May, and we took the whole summer off. All right. And I wasn't even sure until the last minute, what was going to be the launch date when we was going to start season 2 or whatever. Somebody hit me up on a DM and was like, yo, you guys getting ready to do season 2? I got somebody who's interested in coming on. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it's about that time.
Shout out to them.
I said, it's about that time. Let's get it. I said, let's get it. Send the information my way, and we'll get them on the schedule. And then after that, I told nyctegur, and 2 days later, we was booked all the way till October.
Like seriously.
So shout out to everybody for being so receptive to what we doing here, and for just getting activated. With the quickness, no hesitation. Everybody like, yeah, I got time for that. Let's get it. So yeah, it's gonna be an exciting season. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel, click the notification bell so you can be reminded whenever we go live, because the time is going to change halfway through the month. So just keep up with us. We'll let y'all know what's going on each week. All right. So where we going next?
So now we're going to go to newsweek.com. This article was dated August the 6th. This is in reference to AR-15s to be stored in county schools to protect against mass shooters. I don't know how I feel. Well, I know how I feel about that. I wouldn't want my black child in school with teachers or even security, armed with AR-15s. Not my black child.
And where is this at?
This is in North Carolina. North Carolina School District has taken a controversial step to increase security in wake of recent school shootings that have happened across the country. On Friday, Madison County Schools in Western North Carolina announced that in collaboration with the county sheriff's office, it will be outfitting every building in the district with AR-15 assault rifles, according to the Asheville Citizens Time. The move comes in response to a mass shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas in May, where a gunman killed 19 students and 2 teachers. My thing is, with most of these mass shooters, like it's one thing when you have, AR-15s or any firearm in the school. When police show up to the scene in a lot of these cases, except for the one in Uvalde, and it was, I think, the parent that killed him, the police are taking these people out unscathed.
It was a federal agent that came in.
Okay, federal agent that killed him. Well, the police are not taking these people out. They're taking them in handcuffs. So what do we need AR-15s in here for?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm just,
I'm looking at the race demographics in Madison County, North Carolina, and there's a lot of black folks out there. Yeah. It's an 83% black or African American population.
My child will be checked out of school right now.
It's a lot of black folks out there. It's pretty much basically black and white. You got 97% white folks out there, 83% black folks, and then everything else is like less than 1%. So just a bunch of black folks out there.
And my thing is,
surrounded by these hillbillies.
My thing is, is this only for mass shootings, or what happens when a fight, with kids happen, strike out at the school? Are they going to use that as an excuse to break out the AR-15s and start shooting kids because they didn't stop? When I said stop, I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah, because we know the makeup. I'm looking at the the racial makeup of the county itself, but we know the makeup of these schools. You know what I'm saying? Most of the staff, the faculty, teachers, and all of that is predominantly white. You got a lot of Karens that run these school districts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, that's what it is. And so, like you said, they'll use any excuse to justify. Once you give them the green light, you know what I'm saying? They already act like they scared, black boys in particular. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it could be a regular old fight. Next thing you know, somebody backing out the AR.
Let me tell you, out here, there was a school in South Central LA called Locke High School. Locke High School in the late 80s, 90s was horrible. It's one of the first schools, actually, that one, and I believe Crenshaw High, they got the metal detectors in the schools. Why can't they start there? Can we take baby steps? Maybe. Why not add metal detectors to the schools? More security, I'm okay with that. I'm even okay with maybe the security. I don't even know if I'm... When you're talking about a
like none of it.
White staff, though,
I don't like none of it.
Having a firearm, I can't. I ain't
gonna lie. I ain't comfortable with none of that. You know what I'm saying? I know they do that heavy in New York City. A lot of the schools are metal detectors and all of that. But you know, that's part of that school to prison pipeline. You know what I'm saying? That's that conditioning, getting you ready. You know, the school was already set up like that anyway. But
Right.
you just, you know, they add those measures in the name of security. It's a fine line, man. I guess it's a fine line because at the same time, you don't hear about no mass shootings in the New York City schools either.
No, or in South Central LA. You don't. You know, you have a school fight, but that's normal. You know what I'm saying? But you have never heard of a mass shooting at any of the urban schools.
Right.
These are happening in suburban schools and areas.
Yeah, it's true because a lot of times you have these, you know, corrupt faculty members, security guards, and all of that that let certain things slide. I was just seeing a story the other day about a teacher in New Jersey. I think it was in New Jersey. He was a former educator that was working. I think you got the story in the channel. He just got arrested.
Oh yeah, I got it. Oh, that's next.
Shooting one of the students or one of the former students that he had selling weed for him.
Yeah.
Some wild shit like that. And this had been going on for a while out there. You know what I'm saying?
This was in Boston.
That was Boston. That's where it was at. That was in Boston. You got it up?
Yeah, I have it up. So, school dean who shot student ordered to pay $10 million judgment. A former dean at Boston High School, was known affectionately by students as Rev, has been ordered by a federal judge to pay more than $10 million in damages to former student he tried to kill in a dispute over drug sales. Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a Negro too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's crazy, Don. Bishop. You said they used to bring it through the back door and all of that. But again, you still never heard about no black kids shooting up no school, though.
No.
Yeah, that's a whole different type
Even
of thing.
with the firearms, you know, on campus, you've heard of knives and stuff like that. And most of the time, especially with black children, you know, if they're going to do something, it's not going to be a mass shooting of random people. It's specifically for someone.
Whoever they beefing with.
Not to justify it, but you know what I'm saying? It's in retaliation to someone maybe doing something to them or out of fear, you know, of someone retaliating against them over something, whether that's a gang beef, you know, or some BS, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to commit a mass shooting. That's just not what we do.
Yeah, that's kind of unheard of.
So the default judgment Friday against former English school dean Sean Harrison includes $7.5 million in damages for pain and suffering and emotional distress, $2.5 million in punitive damages, and more than $80,000 for the victim's medical bills. Is he going to jail? Oh yeah. Harrison was convicted in state court in 2018 for assault and other charges and sentenced to up to 26 years in prison. I was like, wait a minute, where's the prison sentence?
Yeah, he going to prison. I don't know where they're going to get that money from, though. That's just, you know, I don't know what that judgment is supposed to mean as far as that.
Because he ain't got it.
$10 million and all that. Where you get blood out the rock? All right. So if the school or the district is not on the hook for it, right? It's just him personally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
This one, I have another wild story. Now, this one, I actually got this one off of off Twitter. So shout out to Pharaoh Jones 3 on Twitter. So some people in Houston caught a video of the Houston police used a robot dog that was armed with a shotgun to arrest a black man in Texas. They got whole robots out here for Negroes.
Yeah, man. We've been told y'all about them damn robots.
They got whole robots. Okay, so why not bring the robots into the school?
Oh, hell no.
Not armed. Maybe not armed, but if the robot is there and it, you know, has an alert, it can alert the authorities to come or something like that. Not armed.
Listen. That robotics company is out there in Boston as well. And it's a bunch of white supremacists that run that shit, that came up with the technology. You know what I'm saying? And it's already been proven that basically the robots are racist, goddammit. Basically the robots are racist. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be a glitch, but for some reason the glitch is only when it comes to black folks.
Well, I'll say this. It was a bunch of Negroes out there with their camera phones and stuff like that, and they just chuckling and stuff. And, the thing that I saw was like, we ain't war ready.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We are not war ready. Period. That's what I see in the video.
Not taking the threat seriously at all. Where is it? Can you put it back at the bottom?
Okay.
Not taking the threat seriously at all. I seen that too. I'm like, this shit ain't funny. Y'all niggas just filming and laughing and giggling and shit.
Right.
This shit ain't funny
at all.
This is a battlefield.
This literally, you are at war not only with the white supremacists, but the white supremacist robots.
Nah, that's a whole fact. I'm gonna show y'all the video real quick. Hold up. For those of y'all who haven't seen it. And this is out there in Houston, Texas.
This is in Houston, Texas. I have family in Houston. That's scary.
And remember, the first person that got killed with one of these robots was Michael Johnson. And that was in Texas. That was
Michael Johnson in Texas. In Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Dallas.
Here we go. Got a robot dog. Got a robot dog.
What's funny?
Yeah, so
I'm trying to figure out where the joke is. What's funny? You better be alarmed. That's in your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
That's serious right there. Yeah, it says, man, shout out to 4144. He said that's that Black Mirror shit.
Man, it's just I don't understand it.
As far as the schools and shit, I understand, we want the kids to be safe and all of that, and that's the thing that they use. You know what I'm saying? They create an unstable situation, and then they come with the solution, and that has us in a position where we readily, give up our rights. We give up, we turn it over to them to keep us safe. You know what I mean?
Right.
But we gotta be careful with that, man. Like, they've done some extra security measures this year, starting off the school year. We started school last week here, and they installed, now they got another, like a double door situation. You gotta ring the bell, you're on camera, and then you go through the first door, you show your ID and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Before you can actually get into the building, you got to get verified. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's good. You know what I mean? There's usually at least one officer that's on the grounds. You know what I'm saying? He's not like roaming around the hallways and nothing, just outside in the car near the school. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But we got to be careful with what we allow, what we don't allow. And at the end of the day, man, we got to look out for our own damn babies anyway.
That's it. And then this goes to us, being, a Black family again. Neighbors taking care of, neighbors, taking care of each other's children, coming together. Who doesn't work, who can, drop off or pick up, or who can stay at home and homeschool. There's, not necessarily what they have.
I'm working on it.
They have things. My son actually went through K-12. He's only in high school now because through that program, he wasn't able to play sports, and he wanted to play sports really bad. So I allowed him to go back into a school setting, his 9th grade year or whatever, only because he really, really wanted to play sports. And I'm like, well, you've been on honor roll and everything else while homeschooled. That has to continue. Otherwise, your ass is back at home. But again, I think that's where the community needs to come together. If this is not something that we want to see in the schools, to protect our Black children, then we as a Black family need to come together and figure out other ways that we can, help each other homeschool.
I agree. I agree. You know what I mean? We need educators, you know, in the community, especially, you know, communities where the majority of us live at, in these inner cities and stuff like that. You know, create them homeschool clusters.
Yeah.
You know, take turns and stuff like that. We had sister down here, my homeboy's wife. She's a teacher, and Seven was going to school with her for a while. That was cool, but it was just really the commute that, you know, made it kind of hard because they don't live that close to us. But that was real cool though. You know what I'm saying? She had 7. She had a couple of other kids. She had like 6, 8 kids from like 1st grade to like 3rd grade. And she's teaching everybody. She had a little classroom set up in the basement and all that. That was fly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I definitely want to go back to doing something like that. My plan is to take him out by the time he get to middle school. Like I don't even want him to go into middle school, high school. Like,
I loved it. I personally loved it at the time. He loved it. And honestly, when he went back to school, because homeschool, we were only do about 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? He had his day, you know, really didn't have homework because it was already done. But I had him in other activities, you know, martial arts and all type of other things going on because I had to kind of put him other things because he was just sitting at home, you know, doing school. And when he went back to school, he was like, wait a minute, I'm here for 6 hours.
right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm here for 6 hours. Then after the 6 hours, I have to go to practice for 2 hours and blah, blah, blah. So he was like, iffy. I think I was like, no, you're going to do this here. You know, I'm
it's
not
good
to
to keep him busy though.
Work.
It's good to keep him busy. You know what I'm saying?
I kept him busy. I had to because, you know, he would have said he didn't got fat something, you know. But I kept him really busy after school and stuff. But when he went back to regular school, he was like, wait a minute, this is like a job. He missed homeschool.
Right.
All right. So next story, we're going to put another, you know, white supremacist on the Summer Jam screen. This was reported on Twitter from Black with No Chaser. And this was a video of a Mississippi doctor using racial slurs at a party. So she's at a party with her friends and they're in the living room and looks like she's dancing around and stuff. And she just going on a nigga.
Tirade.
Yeah, just going at it. You know what I'm saying? But she has since been fired from her job because there's consequences now. You know, I mean, I don't want to say fired. She was fired from this hospital, but I'm sure she transferred somewhere else. Because, you know, they don't get fired, they get transferred.
Right.
But yeah.
I'm looking for it.
You remember me send that one?
Y'all got a part of me today, man. I ain't got my link set up.
That's all right. That's what I'm for.
Yeah, just put it back.
Yeah, this doctor out here, you know, singing nigga. And then I'm sitting here like, you know, if she had black patients, how was she, you know, with her black patients, with diagnosing them properly, you know, when it comes to addressing their concerns, because a medical apartheid is also real, you know, in a very racist system. So, you know, and to see this white woman on here who's a doctor in a place like Mississippi, I think Mississippi is predominantly black statewide, right?
Right.
You know, so that's scary.
Hold on, I got it. 1 second. 1 second.
Very scary.
And founder Publix. Like the grocery store? No, not Publix. Founder and Publix.
It's a bar over there.
Okay. It's a bar. Put your phone thing. I'm about to get ghetto nigger. Before I turn into a ghetto nigger, put your phone down. Man, this got crazy, y'all. Look, she is ghetto. And founder of
Yeah.
I have a question. So, why is ghetto is synonymous with black people? What do you call a white ghetto person? Because she was ghetto, looking trashy like that. I look at ghetto as a behavior, perhaps. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's not black to me.
Right. Right.
Like, you know what I'm
and
saying?
the first ghettos, and the first ghettos were white Jewish communities. The first ghettos in the U.S. were white Jewish communities. You know what I'm saying? But you're right. That's something that they have made synonymous with black.
With black.
You know, that's one of those code words.
She lost her job. You know, she lost her job as she should. You know, and hopefully no one else hires her ass. You know,
she ain't lose that license.
Right. But you know what? I think that's what the people there in Mississippi should push for that. That's where they come in at. You know, make sure that she does not work in Mississippi or any other state for that matter again. Right. That's up to the people there to really push for that. You know, firing is not enough. You know what I'm saying? We want her unlicensed, period. And it sounds like who exposed her? It obviously was whoever she was hanging with. How did this video get out? Someone set her up.
They thought it was okay. You know, we white. Ain't in no trouble.
We say so. And we say so.
We white. Who gonna check us?
All right. So
make sure y'all hit that like button again, share, and subscribe. If you're watching this on Facebook or Twitter, head on over to the YouTube channel and subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so you can be reminded whenever we go live with new content. Gotta always remind y'all to do that. What we got next?
So in Texas again, Amarillo, Texas, Freona woman charged for allegedly holding immigrant hostages.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, she's actually Hispanic herself, which is wild. I'm going to put it in here just in case you can't find it, so I'll put it back. In Amarillo, Texas, a Freona woman has been charged in Amarillo federal court, according to officials, with the U.S. attorney for the Northern District of Texas, alleging that she held 17 undocumented immigrants hostage in her home. Who was she working for?
This is my first time hearing about this.
Yeah, who was she working for to hold 17 immigrants hostage in her home? Like, once they crossed the border, who drove them to her, and why was it her job to hold them hostage? Like, this sounds like some type of enterprise to me.
Yeah, because right. This woman is not acting alone.
No.
This woman is not acting alone. You can't hold 17 motherfuckers hostage that don't want to be held.
So it says, according to news release from the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Texas, 30-year-old Manuela Magdalena Gimon Castro. She got a whole lot of names.
Okay, it says it. Go ahead.
Was charged via criminal complaint for alien harboring. Castro, along with a family member, allegedly partnered with an illegal immigrant smuggling operation to hold undocumented individuals hostage at their home. Okay, so there's an enterprise.
Yes.
There's an enterprise.
Wow. Castro and a family member allegedly held these individuals hostage. The news release states that they allegedly threatened to deprive them of food and water and refused to allow them to leave until they paid $11,000 to $12,000 or worked off the debt. So this is a whole human trafficking slavery operation they got popping over here.
Let me tell you something. Someone brought up a good point too in these spaces. You know, when a lot of these undocumented people come over here, you know, illegally, a lot of the times I've had illegal people, or, you know, I don't want to say they were illegal, but Hispanic people come and work in my house. You know what I'm saying? And they've told me, yeah, you know, one, he was like, yeah, my son will be here, you know, next week. I haven't seen him in 17 years. It's costing me $20,000 to get him over here. And I'm sitting here like, you are basically a handyman. You know what I'm saying? Type of deal. He doesn't have a big business. He's like a handyman. Well, how are you guys getting all this money? You know, 20 G's to pay someone to bring your family. He was like, and next, you know, my daughter is coming. She's going to come after, like the month after. And I had to pay to get her here too. So you just got 40 G's like that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You yourself, I don't think is documented your damn self. You know what I'm saying? But you guys got bans basically to spend to get your family members over here. So who are you paying?
Yeah, they got all types of scams and illegal operations going on. You know, that's funneling this whole situation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is pretty much underworld operations, but it's being allowed and co-signed by the establishment. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And they get
one of
here
those
and they
things
get
that they
so
turn
many
a blind eye to.
And they get so many resources and benefits when they get here. Benefits that we barely can get, as the foundation of this country, right? There's certain resources that we cannot get our hands on. I was telling someone in a space this morning that one of my mother's church member friends, she works for like the Department of Social Service or whatever it is, when you go apply for welfare assistance or whatever. And she said that basically they have set aside resources specifically for them, and they get more than the actual citizens, but theirs is set aside. They can walk in there with a mama, grandmama, husband, children, everybody, and walk out the same day with cash aid, medical, and everything. And this is resources set aside for them. They don't need a social security card. They don't need an ID. They don't even need a birth certificate.
Right. And we already talked about last week how, part of Biden's plan was to get these people IDs immediately as soon as they cross the border. And, they don't got no real way to verify who these people are. You just take their word for it, whatever they tell you their name is. You know what I'm saying? Just basically giving people fake IDs as they cross the border. And then they go to what you just said and get their little setup. They get their little care package.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Funny, my mom retired from the school district, LA Unified School District, and she worked in the payroll department. So she's responsible, for payroll for all, district employees. And her area was specifically for teachers and other staff members. And she was like, she would be so surprised that a lot of them had the same social security number and names, and no one ever questioned it. And they would bring stuff up, to, supervisors and stuff like that. Like it was some quick fix. They were sweeping under the rug, but a lot of them on record in the system would have the same social security number.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Mama Love said Texas governor sending them down to New York in busloads today. I thought he was sending them to DC.
His whole plan at this point, he says that he's going to send them to all Democratic run cities.
There you go.
That's what he's doing. So DC
y'all the ones with the cape on.
Got some. Yep.
They say y'all the one with the cape on. Y'all take them.
My thing is, send them back. Send them back. Like, don't be busting them. Like, that's resources again that can go, to American citizens. We don't need to be spending resources to drive these people, who could be coming over here with any type of, disease. And you're exposing American people to certain things to drive their asses somewhere else. Like, no, just send them back.
Yeah, but I don't think he probably would, but I don't think he can, because these are federal, statutes that the Democrats are putting in place. That's blocking him from being able to do that. I think.
Okay, but they're here illegally, which is a crime. So shouldn't they go to jail?
Not according to the Democrats. Not according to the Democrats. It ain't no crime.
But they in Texas. So you're not in a Democratic run city. So as a Republican, flex your Republican
on a federal level, though. I'm talking about on a federal level.
I don't understand how this works. I thought that if you got caught by immigration or whatever, you get locked up in like the immigration jail and they can deport you back to your country.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know either. All right, well, moving on. We got another immigration story.
Well, hold on. Speaking about immigrants also.
That's the next one. New York Post.
Go ahead. I was going to talk about that that book that I found.
Okay, so New York Post, August 7th, 113 Haitian immigrants in custody after sailboat runs aground off Florida Keys. Now, they're in custody. We ain't heard nothing about no bus taking them nowhere.
Right.
Right?
They ain't getting no IDs. They ain't
Right.
getting no care package.
None of that.
No.
I'm just saying, it sure is quite a difference when your skin color is off, right? So officials took 113 Haitian immigrants into custody Saturday after their jam-packed boat ran aground off the Florida Keys. The Coast Guard said in a tweet that it responded other partner agencies to a grounded sailing vessel off Ocean Reef near Key Largo Saturday afternoon. Ships and helicopters from the Coast Guard and U.S. Customs and Border Patrol Air and Marine Operations Division surrounded the overcrowded boat. Photos of the dramatic rescue shows. So yeah, when you black.
God damn, Zoes.
Yeah.
What say you, Zoe? I know we got some Zoes in the chat. What say you? Man.
Well, let me say this. They did say that they're working to keep them safe, clean, fed, and healthy, and identify exactly who they are and what they may or may not have brought with them to the country, Chief Patrol Agent Walter Sloser said in a video statement. Well, they're feeding them.
Send them all back. Yes, what CBP is doing is racist, but these people aren't coming to fight white supremacy. They are coming to better themselves.
Exactly.
And couldn't give a rat's behind about FBA freedom. Right. What's CBP? Aggression. What's CBP? Shatati? I'm lost.
Yeah,
I'm not lost on what you're saying. I just don't know what CBP is.
Yeah. But
speaking about immigrants, though, while we on it, Customs and Border Patrol. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right. Come on now, speak English to us. I came across this book right here the other day. Should I buy it? I was just on the internet last night, as a matter of fact. I was looking up some stuff. I forgot what I was looking for, but somehow I came across this: the Caribbeanization of Black politics, race, group consciousness, and political participation in America. And I was looking up a little bit about the author. Seems like she's one of these Links Boulay types, or whatever the case may be. She got a few other books, but the summary of the book and the title of the book seems like it might have some good information concerning, this conversation that we're having about FBA and Black politics and all of that. But I want to see if anybody out there read it and if it would be worth
to purchase.
Because I don't really be reading too much of these Boulay books like that.
Yeah, they make me nervous.
But if
anybody misinformation.
If anybody is familiar with the book is about, they're talking about in the summary, they basically were saying how Black communities in America have become more diverse over the years with the influx of Black immigrants. You know what I'm saying? And how we don't have the same outlook or the same type of consciousness when it comes to politics. We don't have the same interest when it comes to politics. And now they kept throwing the word diversified around and all of this stuff. I don't know. It seemed like it could be interesting though.
I mean, based off the title, definitely, but what's up in the meat of the book?
So the author may be stating Caribbeans add to the Black experience here. Add in what way? So, add in what way? I think I'm gonna just grab it. Seems like it might be,
a decent read.
Useful. Might be something we could use.
And while we're talking about white supremacy, I thought this was interesting,
Shatati is Bass Reeves' live son. Bass Reeves' live son.
Where you see that at? I thought this was an interesting article with Tyler Perry saying that why he hasn't talked to his son, his 7-year-old, about race. Like, you cannot hide Black children against racism and white supremacy just because you have a big house with a gate around it and some security guard. Eventually, this child has to step outside of those gates into the real world. And even in that industry that you're in, right, you would think that you want to teach him about racism, white supremacy, and being buck broken. Hell, because Tyler seems like he done been buck broken. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
I'm just saying. We just cannot hide it from our children. You know, the walls, the gates, the money, all of those things are not going to protect your children away from white supremacy, period.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I didn't know Tyler Perry had a child.
So yeah, I knew about the child. He allegedly had a girlfriend. It was some, beautiful sister. I've seen her a few times. Very young, brown, chocolate, not chocolate, but dark skinned girl, beautiful, skinny, looked like a model. They were together, and then once the child was born, it was all of a sudden, oh, Tyler Perry, they broke up. You paid her to have you a child, food. You ain't screwed nobody. Let's be for real. But
damn, why y'all doing Tyler Perry like that?
We all know at this point, and all we waiting on is Tyler to just say it.
Why is y'all doing Tyler Perry like that?
We love Tyler. We love Tyler. Come on now, Tyler, got the studio out there in Atlanta that he built on the slave land, like that speech that he gave. That he's the first person that paid Taraji P. Henson, what she asked for. Like, he's put a lot of Black people to work. Shout out to Tyler. But Tyler, come on out, brother. Come on out.
Y'all going in on my brother Tyler Perry. Okay, I feel okay, y'all. Debbie Rowe 2.0, Tyler's beard. Okay, all right, y'all damn.
We know.
Yeah. But no, I do agree that he's doing his son, right?
Yes, a disservice.
Yeah, I do agree that he's doing his son a disservice. Tomorrow's not promised to nobody. Who knows? If you'll be here when you think it is the time, to start talking to him about racism or whatever the case may be. We have to prepare their minds, in some type of way. And it's not easy for everybody to figure it out, how to do it. I think I'll find creative ways to do it with my son. My son is going to be 7 in a couple of days. And, just chopping it up with him, we have regular conversations about things, and I find ways, to answer some of the questions or to introduce him to some of the information without traumatizing him at the same time, you know what I mean? And so if anybody as a parent that is out there that's looking for ways to talk about racism with your young children, Dwan B is a good resource for that. Shout out to our brother Dwan B. For those of y'all that's not familiar with Dwan Brown, he's Dwan B on Instagram. DWAAN, the letter B, on Instagram, and he has a program where he teaches parents how to teach racism to their children. You know what I'm saying? He's an educator. He works in the education system, and he works with a lot of the youth that are like going through the panels, and that's getting kicked out of school with the board of education and all that type of shit. When they're trying to get your children on medicine and put them in special classes and all that. He works with families that are going through stuff like that. So he's a good resource to hit up as far as, learning how to talk to your kids about racism. Tap in with our brother.
Or is it that Tyler doesn't believe racism exists because, a lot of them people, they know it exists, but maybe they feel like it's not as bad as, we say until someone gets killed, like Breonna Taylor, right? Then we can acknowledge it when an unarmed Black man is being, shot down like a dog in the street. All of a sudden, we can acknowledge it then, but on a regular day, it doesn't, exist anymore until someone is publicly lynched.
Right.
That's not, we can't use that. You have to talk to your children, even if they never ever encounter racism. They have to know that it exists. So in the event, as an adult, they encountered it. Well, wait a minute. My parents talked to me about this when I was such and such years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's his name? Tariq's book, Foundational Black American Race Baiter. the part that I got to that was so helpful for me, especially now that my son is working, he got his little job, and it was a parts in the book talking about the workplace racism, you know, and I was like, whoa, this is perfect, because he had already been coming home telling me certain things or whatever. So as I was reading the book and stuff, I was like, oh, now we have something that we can talk about together, read this, you know, part together and talk about it, because I don't want him to be there blind and not knowing how to deal with this.
That's
you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact. And pay attention, please, family, to the links that are in the chat. Some chick named Star put the link for our brother Duane B's program. Learn how to communicate racism to children with Duane Brown, and that's at www.duaneb.gumroad.com. So yeah, check him out.
Yeah, so you know that helped me a lot. And honestly, I think that until you come into your consciousness, right, and especially if you worked in corporate America all your life, even reading it and me coming into my consciousness later on in life, to me, it helped me, you know, because it's like, damn, it brought up some stuff, you know what I'm saying, like at work, things that occurred, whether it was with a white person or a non-FBA person on the job, you know what I'm saying, and you like, damn, like I didn't know this is what all that mean. It just made it make sense to me after the experiences. You know what I'm saying? I actually, just a few years ago, had a white coworker. I had, you know, braids in my hair, whatever, and I was sitting at my desk, whatever, and he came over. He had to ask me a question about something, and I'm still sitting in my seat, and he said, and I'm just looking up, and then he like grabbed, you know, one of my braids, and I was like, you know, and touched it. I was like, now you know better. I just like this. I was like, now you know better. You know not to touch a black woman's hair. Why would you do that? And he was like, oh, he just said it's nice. And I was like, no, you did that because you wanted to see how I was going to react to it. Don't ever do that again. Like I checked it right away, like playing dumb. And I've always seen him do little passive aggressive things, you know, to other people. I got another story at work. Standing kind of in the hallway, and it's this white girl. She has biracial children, by the way, right? And she's telling me this story or whatever about a customer actually. And so she was like, I was on there arguing with him, and she was like, and I wanted to just say like nigga. And she caught herself, but she said it like, and I said, what made you think that was okay? Or whatever, and she grabbed her mouth or whatever, and I was like, you can't say that word around me. Like, I don't care if you got black children, all that, you know. And this is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman, y'all. She's telling me a story, and she was like, and she's trying to, I guess, sister girl, you know, with me or whatever. And she was like, and I was like, nigga.
Man.
Yes. So
what do you do? What do you do in a situation like that?
You check that shit. You check that shit right away. I did, both of them. So in her case, honestly, because I guess I'm a cool person, and obviously I didn't talk to this person outside of work, and sometimes these people just think, I don't think that the one that touched my hair, I do believe was malicious, because I've seen him be passive aggressive before. Her, I don't think that she was like that. You know, she would show me pictures of her kids and stuff like that. She wanted to let me know that, you know, she had black kids and stuff, and I was cool or whatever. So I think in her mind, like, I can be like that with her. For whatever reason, she thought that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. And I checked it right away. And y'all know she left the company literally like 2 weeks after that. I don't know if it's because of that situation, but she actually resigned.
Hey, so, what about that griot situation?
Oh yeah, that's in here. So shout out to this brother. I don't know his name, but there was some brother that called in to the news station. It was let me pull it up. Washington Journal, CPN, I don't know, some type of live news broadcast. And so a brother called in, and basically he shouted out the new black media. He was like, you know, Tariq Nasheed, Professor Black Truth, and Jason Black are basically, you know what I'm saying, got more, you know, pull, you know, and then you guys do or whatever. So I thought that was interesting and great at the same time.
Yes. I would like to ask your guests, are they familiar with Jason Black, Professor Black Truth, and Tariq Nasheed? And they seem to be far more relevant and influential to the black community than the Griot and other black so-called news networks. Because I heard the guests talk about including everybody. And so they say that, you know, everybody, we shouldn't include everybody. This is about black people. You know, everybody doesn't fit in. Immigrants from Africa are actually on reparations committees where they don't get anything and it has nothing to do with them. So do you know Jason Black, Professor Black Truth, and Tariq Nasheed? And what do you think of them? Thank you.
Christina Greer, Professor Greer?
I've definitely heard of both of them, and I think that they serve a particular segment or faction of the black community. But what I think Byron Allen is trying to build in so many of us who work for the Griot and work with the Griot is that, you know, it is important for us to have inclusive conversations. Many of the conversations we have on the Griot, you know, the way they're written, it's like, if you know, you know. But I do think that just as it's important for Black students to see me in front of the classroom, I think it's important for white students to see me in front of the classroom. And for my podcast, The Blackest Questions, I don't think it's, you know, valuable if only Black people know Black history. I think so many non-Black people need to understand all the contributions of Black people. And that's including a diasporic conversation about the contributions of Blacks from not only the United States, but Africa and the Caribbean. I wrote a book called Black Ethnics that really talks about the need for us to build coalitions across the diaspora and then start more substantive conversations. I definitely think that there are some conversations that Black people need to have first, but the inclusive element of the Griot, if people decide to tune into our various podcasts on the network, it's so that they can learn something, reflect on the ways in which
the line. John, please go ahead.
Yes.
So I don't know. She started to deflect a little bit there. Like she wasn't really addressing what the caller was saying. You know, she started rambling on about her podcast and her book, but she didn't really address. She didn't really address what the caller was saying. You know what I'm saying? The caller was, you know, again, shout out to him. You know, he shouted out the voices of the new Black media, specifically Professor Black Truth, Tariq Nasheed, and Jason Black, for being champions, you know, for the Black community in general, but specifically for foundational Black Americans and putting our needs first as far as politics here in America. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's what the caller was talking about. You know what I'm saying? So she started talking about, you know, how important it is for white kids to know Black history and to have Black teachers and all of that too. All right, that might be important, but that's a whole different conversation. Why she didn't address what the man was saying? Right. Why she didn't address what the man was saying?
It's mind-boggling still to me that everyone can talk politics specifically for their group except for Foundational Black Americans. All of a sudden, it's divisive. All of a sudden, we're selfish. All of a sudden, we need to start talking about including everybody and all this stuff. When there's little groups that do not include us on anything.
Unapologetically.
Actually, I'm going to put it in here. Unapologetically, right?
Person who speaks to everyone. Just, you know, and you wouldn't say that there was like this, there's a white guy. Do you know this guy? It's a weird question, but I do think that as far as inclusion, you know, we look at the world and Black America as a diaspora, right? And I don't think anyone benefits from excluding a particular group, whether it is immigrants or Americans or native-born Americans. We want to be inclusive. We want to build a global village.
And so, hold on a second. And so, that's Michael Harriet right there. And he's the brother that had the debate with Marcel on Twitter Space a few months back about whether reparations should be specific to foundational Black Americans or whether it should go to everybody Black. And he lost that debate by a landslide. He got his ass drugged by Marcel in that debate. I'll give him his props right here because he did attempt to address what the caller said, although he failed miserably. Although he failed miserably. He said nobody benefits from excluding other people. Everyone excludes other people except for us.
Can you put in on here on the screen what I just put in the materials, just to show that in real time in black and white? You know,
everyone, how power is being power. The power is in being exclusive. There's no power in being all inclusive. You water down your issues, you dilute your power by trying to include everybody. You know what I'm saying? Power is, and just because somebody said he's a Pan-Africanist, I don't know about that. I just think he's an intersectionalist and he's an inclusionist, because real Pan-Africanists understand what we are saying. Real Pan-Africanists understand the importance of this foundational Black American specificity, right? I just did a whole broadcast the other day showing the panel with Dr. Kaba, Professor James Smalls, who are both Pan-Africanists, speaking about this issue. You know what I'm saying? There are plenty of Pan-Africanists out there that understand what we are doing. Dr. Ma'at, you know what I'm saying, is a Pan-Africanist. You know what I'm saying? There's no contradiction in us being exclusive about foundational Black American politics and, you know, still wanting liberation for Black people globally. There's no contradiction in that. Yeah, he's an intersectionalist for sure. I don't know if he's a Pan-Africanist. I don't know about that. But let me see. Talking about this last one right here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a Twitter. Let me stop sharing.
It's just a screenshot, a photo.
Yeah, but it's gonna open another page.
But it's the very last one. I'm gonna like it right now. I just put a heart on it.
I got it, but I'm just saying I have to reach. Okay. Oh no, that's not it. That's not it. My bad. Because that's okay. Okay, here it is. I can't make that bigger. Okay, there it goes. All right, 1 second. Let me see what this is right here. Can y'all see it? No, hold on.
No, put it on yet.
And I don't know if y'all can read it, but oh yeah. The Congressional Native American Caucus is a bipartisan coalition of lawmakers that work to advance our nation-to-nation relationships with tribal governments and uphold our federal trust responsibilities to Native Americans through the legislative process. The key word there is
Native Americans.
Trust responsibilities to Native Americans, right? They're speaking about Native Americans only. They're not including anyone else.
Nope.
Right? So let's go to the Asian Caucus. Their purpose is to provide a structure to coordinate the efforts and to enhance the ability of the Asian American and Pacific Islander members of Congress to accomplish those goals.
Asian only.
Asian only. They're not including anyone.
No.
The caucus is there to be very exclusive to Asian American and Pacific Islanders. Let's go to the Hispanics. Our mission. The 38-member Congressional Hispanic Caucus advocates for issues important to Hispanics through the congressional legislative process.
Hispanics only.
Not minorities.
No.
Not people of color.
Not black and brown.
Right. Hispanics. And let's go to the Negro Caucus. Since its establishment in 1971, I think they've been around longer than all of these caucuses. The Congressional Black Caucus has been committed to using the full constitutional power, statutory authority, and financial resources of the federal government to ensure that African Americans and other marginalized communities in the United States have the opportunity to achieve. And so when we look at all of these groups, everybody is being exclusive to their group except for the Congressional Black Caucus. And what else we see is that Asians have legislation and resources that are allocated specifically to their group. The Native Americans have legislation and resources that are allocated specifically to their group. And Hispanics have legislation as well as resources that are set aside specifically for their group. But Black people have not had one piece of legislation and not near lick of resources allocated specifically to our group.
And how dare we ask? And how dare we ask?
So, Mr. Harriet, it seems to me that some people do benefit from being exclusive. Shame on these people. And that's the griot, which is owned and headed by Byron Allen. You know, Byron Allen, he owns the Weather Channel. He owns a whole bunch of other television stations.
And he just recently bought that other station, the one that closed, right?
Right. So we talked about it earlier this year, or maybe last year. The Black News Network, I think it's called. There was some Middle Eastern guy who had started that channel and put a bunch of Black faces on TV to try to speak for us. And there was like $100 million behind it, and it failed miserably in a short period of time. They had to file for bankruptcy and shut the whole thing down. And so recently, Byron Allen acquired that network for something light. It was something light, something short.
Like 11 million, I believe. I think it was 11 million.
Yeah, $10-11 million, something like that. And so they're going to try to revamp that. And these are the people that you can anticipate trying to speak for Black issues out here.
Sure was right on time, wasn't it?
Boy.
That deal kind of went through right on time, didn't it?
Right.
They
didn't install him out. He didn't have to go all the way to the Supreme Court and do all of this nonsense to get it done. They made sure that it went through, no hassle, no fuss, no muss. And so they should be up and running pretty soon, and we'll be debunking them in upcoming episodes of Sincere Love the Godcast. Stay tuned for that.
And another good news I want to share with the family, our brother, Marcel Dixon, has officially announced his 2024 campaign has officially started. So make sure you guys are following him on Twitter at Marcel for Congress, or on Instagram as well. Marcel for Congress. His link is in the bio. His link is also in my bio. We encourage everyone to donate and support our brother Marcel for Congress. His campaign has officially launched today. Shout out to Marcel.
Shout out to Greg Marcel Dixon. Yep. Respect to that brother right there. That's good.
Yep. So he's official. I'm on recurring payments, so I'm still donating. Never stop. There's some type of Asian and Latino pact that has started, and they're asking for donations as well. And I found that to be quite interesting, considering they're pretty much, especially here in California, already getting a lot of resources. I don't know what they needed to make a pact for. The Asians just got an anti-Asian hate crime bill plus millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? They got businesses on every corner. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they decided that they were going to link up. Notice it's not the black and brown, or the, brown and the black that they wanted to make a pact with. They went somewhere else.
Right. Well, they see the type of time we on. We letting everybody hold their own nuts. So now they're trying to band together. And this is what Dr. Claude Anderson was talking about way back in the 90s, man. When he was trying to warn Black people that we're going to have to fight all of these groups. You know what I'm saying? It was bad enough that we already had this war going on with white supremacy. And he was warning Black people that with the influx of all of these different immigrant groups and them being basically, manufactured into a buffer class and a middle class over top of us, was going to be a major issue for us. It's going to make us become persona non grata as far as politics is concerned. And that's what they're working on. You know what I'm saying? They all are down with this shit. This is the master plan of the white supremacists, and their buffers are just going with the marching orders.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We said the same thing with the election of Biden. You know what I'm saying? When if Biden gets elected, what we're going to have to do is go against a bunch of white supremacists, right? Hispanic, white, Hispanics, Asians, everybody. We can deal specifically with the white supremacists, but now we're going to have all these other groups, coming against us as well. And so what both he and Dr. Claude has said, we're seeing that tried and true right now in our faces.
Right. And really, we have to look at ourselves, man. We're the ones that giving these people the power to do exactly what they're doing by continuing to support them and continue to vote them in office and put them in power to create policies for all of these other people to pile up on top of us. And this is the result of it right here.
Yeah. Yep. So
like you said, if you ain't never get nothing when you was number 2, you could guess what you're gonna get when you're number 4.
Right. I mean, not even crumbs at that point, because they're not gonna leave anything on the plate.
Right. It's gonna get bad. It's gonna get worse before it gets better.
Yep. So
but that's another thing that Dr. Claude said too, though. That's another thing that Dr. Claude said recently when somebody asked him, what do you think needs to be done, or what do you think black people need at this point? You know what I'm saying? In order for us to get our minds right and get on code. And Dr. Claude said we need more pain. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Claude said we need more pain. That's unfortunately a reality.
I don't need no more. I don't need no more.
In order for the masses of our people to really get on board and start doing what we got to do for ourselves, it's going to take more pain, because right now niggas is too comfortable. Niggas is too comfortable. It ain't that bad. It ain't that bad in the prison. It ain't that bad in the prison. You know what I'm saying? You got 3 hots in the cot. You got 3 hots in the cot. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no real responsibilities. White mommy and daddy do all the heavy lifting. You just keep your head down and go to work Monday through Friday. You turn up on the weekends, get high, get drunk, fuck, go to church on Sunday, praise, dance, shout, and then do it all over again on Monday morning. Too
and
comfortable.
Then say, ain't no white supremacy. Ain't no white supremacy. These fools still saying that. And I've heard people say that on Spaces today. And unfortunately, these weren't non-FBAs, some of them. You still have some who are still scared of the non-vote conversation when we're talking about federally. You know what I'm saying? They are still scared. Well, what are we going to do? Because that's all that's going to do is bring a Republican in. Okay, and?
Right.
Okay, and
right.
You're not getting anything now. You know what I'm saying? And let's be very, very clear. I feel like the Democrats are being very, very anti-black and aggressive.
Extremely.
Extremely. You know what I'm saying? And so you still hollering, well, if we don't do that, a Republican go get in. So what?
Who gives a damn? Who gives a damn? We better off with the Republicans. Let's keep it a buck.
Let's keep it a buck.
Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. The Republicans ain't pushing all this immigration shit and funneling all of these people on top of black folks. The Republicans is not pushing this heavy LGBTQ agenda on your goddamn children. Right? The Republicans ain't gonna force you to go take a needle. You know what I'm saying? The Republicans, you know what I mean? They ain't our friends, but a lot of their core principles align with ours.
Right. And when we say, obviously when I sit back and think about it, and I'm like, when people keep saying, well, they're not offering us anything, the Republicans aren't doing this, they're not doing that. We've never been their base.
Right.
Now I want to say never, because obviously we were Republican before, our ancestors and stuff. But I'm saying for the last
but that was the same.
years,
That was just the Democratic Party under a different name.
Exactly. But for the last 60 plus years, we have been voting, straight Democrat for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, we are not their base. They technically don't need us. They didn't need us when Trump got in. It wasn't black people that got Trump into office. It was white women.
Right. Listen, give me my white supremacy hot on the goddamn platter. Give me my white supremacy hot on a platter. I could deal with that. You know what I'm saying? This shit that we got going on, it's too much, man. We can't fight all these people.
No.
We can't fight all these people. Let's just go straight to the source. Give me the head of the snake.
Right. What do you think about Marcel's idea of reverse migration, meaning a bunch of us, heading back down south so we can increase our numbers? If we increase our numbers in certain states, obviously we can increase our, political power in a lot of these states, or, at least down south. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm already down south.
Right.
But besides just on a personal level, I'm not mad at it. I heard Marcel and other people talk about the reverse migration concept, and I don't see nothing bad about it, but I also don't think that it's necessary. You know what I'm saying? Only thing that's necessary is the code. Everybody can do what they got to do from where they at. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not against it, but I don't think that, because pretty much if we had that, it would be because people are getting on a certain code, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if people are going to be on code, then it don't matter where they at. You know what I'm saying?
But numbers matter too, though, right? Because, and we're talking about, if you're talking about state, politics, and if you're talking about, getting into Congress and stuff like that, increasing our numbers for certain policies to be passed on that level, wouldn't it make sense that we have the numbers to support that? Because with all of us spread out the way that we are, like here in California, I believe in California, black FBAs are only like 3-4% of the population here. We don't have enough numbers here to really flex any type of political power here with the numbers here, specifically in California.
Like I said, I get it. I ain't mad at it. I ain't got nothing against it. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that it's necessary. Like if we don't do that, ain't nothing we could do.
Nothing gonna happen.
I don't think that that's the case. You know what I'm saying?
I think that the thing is, like you said, and I agree, with you, because just like Marcel, he decided that he wanted to do something about it. And there's other Marcels out there that maybe have not taken that leap. I don't think that's obviously for me. I'm more of I play a supporting role in all of this. But there's some other Marcels out there that feel the exact same way that he does, that will not sell out, and really, want their people on top again. So we need y'all to come on out, and let's do this the right way, place ourselves in those positions so that we can fight for what we need, which is those reparations and other tangibles.
The thing about it too is when you look around, the forced migration, the reverse migration is going to be forced anyway, with Negroes getting gentrified up out of all these cities.
True.
The only place you can afford to live is the South at this point. And that ain't even...
It's going up though there.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
Shit.
But everybody going to North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida. You know what I'm saying? Coming from New York, Chicago, California. That's where everybody going anyway, just out of necessity.
Right.
So, but it don't matter if people are not on code, right? It don't matter. You just got a bunch of niggas piled up in one area, all operating, as individuals.
Right.
And it don't matter.
Get on code.
You're not aggregating no type of power in that way.
Get on code, Black family. We got to get on code.
Appreciate you, Tron 7000. John 7000 said this broadcast is fire. We do our best. We do our best each and every Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Time. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you can be reminded when we go live with new episodes of Sincere Love the Godcast. That's what you are watching right now. I am the God Sincere Love, and this is the lovely, nicety girl. And yeah, this is what we do, man. And also for those of y'all that wasn't here earlier, we did announce that season 2 of the Black Business Showcase is just a couple of days away.
Yes.
This Wednesday, we are setting off season 2 of the Black Business Showcase. And we got a banging guest coming up for y'all to set this thing off the right way. We're going to set this thing off the right way. And we got some great guests coming behind him as well. So that's a hint right there. It's a dude. I gave y'all a little hint of who it's going to be. But make sure that you're following me and my sister. I'm at SincereluvdaGod on all social media platforms. She's at nyctegur with the number 1 on Instagram, without the number 1 on all other social media platforms. And within the next 24 to 48 hours, you will see the flyer for this Wednesday's show circulating around social media. So stay tuned for episode 1, season 2, Black Business Showcase.
And make sure you guys are sharing that flyer. You know, invite your friends, you know, because again, this is the Black Business Showcase. So we're chopping it up with business owners, entrepreneurs, and they're giving a lot of business game. You know, a lot of people out here want to start businesses, don't know where to start. Well, guess what? That's what we're here for. And we have the right people to give you the right information so you can get your stuff started. So make sure you tune in on Wednesday.
All right. And I want to give a shout out to my son and his homeboys, man. My son Jamel, my 16-year-old, you know, he the one that played basketball and all of that. Him and 3 of his boys got together and they are starting their own clothing brand.
Be on the show?
Ja is the type of kid, it seemed like he not listening, but he be soaking up the game. You know what I'm saying? He one of them kids, he don't really say much. He don't give you no feedback. He always got, you know, non-emotions on his face. They say me and him is a lot alike. I don't think so, though. I don't think we're alike. But he's definitely the type of kid. He don't show no type of emotion. You know what I mean? He act like he not really listening when you trying to tell him something or whatever the case may be. But you will see him putting it into action. And so he got together with a couple of his friends. They started a clothing brand. It's called Concept something. They got their fly little logo and all of that. They're working on picking up their press machine and all of that. And so yeah, I'm definitely work on getting them on the show, or I might do something separate with them. But I've been talking to him and his friends, giving them some pointers and some ideas about what they need to do to really get it going. But I was proud to see that it kind of came out of nowhere. You know, they didn't tell me nothing about the plan until it was the day of. It was like, yo, he gave me a call. He like, yo, can I go with my friends? We going to look at some press machines for our clothing line. I was like, what? Talking about? You know what I'm saying? So
That's
like,
dope.
right,
Shout out to him.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, my son and I went to Honey Queen yesterday. I think my son is low key trying to flirt with Key. Like seriously,
he fly too. Your son got good sense. Shout out
like,
to
I
nephew.
got my job, I got a car, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, he took his hat off and he was like, plus I got the locks in my eye. I was like, is he over here flirting? I'm just sitting over here like, is this Negro over here flirting? Like he is over here flirting with her. Like he was just letting her know everything, you know. But yeah, we had fun. Went over there, chilled with her for a little bit. Of course, stocked up on my lemonade, you know. So yeah, we pulled up on her yesterday. But yeah, my son was major flirting.
Yeah. Shout out
with a wrong woman.
Shout out to the Honey Queen. That was one of our guests on season 1 from the Black Business Showcase. Again, make sure y'all catch up with the previous episodes. In the meantime, while y'all wait on the new season, some dope episodes in the archives, y'all. Go check out some of them episodes in the archives, man.
All right, but well, I know we're winding down, but I do want to add in one more news update, you know, for the people, because we got to watch out for stuff like this, you know.
What we got?
So this was also on this was on the New York Post, actually. A Georgia couple charged with using their adopted children to make child porn. And this is a gay.
That was here where I live at.
Yeah, this is a gay couple. Now, I don't know the race, you know, of the children that they adopted, but we know that a lot of times, you know, these people be adopting Black children, specifically Black children from the diaspora. So, no children should be going through any of that, you know, but They should be placed under the jail. Capital punishment in my eyes.
Listen, I would bet my last $5 that them kids is African.
Right.
I would bet my last $5 that them kids is some black African kids. I told you that's a heavy thing out here with white people adopting those kids from Africa, especially the white LGBT. They got those organizations that specifically go to these war-torn areas where there's civil wars going on and all of that shit. And they claim that the kids are being abused or marginalized because of their sexuality. These are children that they say are gay, and it's not tolerated in those countries or whatever the case may be. So they get them over here and do God knows what. As you can see, if you want to read some of the story, some of those details is crazy.
So the suspects' names are William and Zachary Zuluk, have been charged with using their 2 adopted children to make child pornography. A Georgia couple has been charged with using their 2 adopted children to record child pornography, police say. Walton County Sheriff's Office raided a home in Loganville July 27th on reports that a man there was downloading child porn. After interviewing the suspect, who was not identified, police said they learned there was another suspect in the county who was producing homemade child sexual abuse material with at least one child who lived in the home, the sheriff's office said on Thursday. Disgusting.
The only thing I was confused about, they said Walton County. Loganville is like next town over from where I work at. I work in Lawrenceville. Loganville is like down the damn street. I thought it was still Gwinnett County, but they said Walton County. I was a little confused by that.
So it says, during their search, deputies found evidence the pair, who were the children's adoptive fathers, were engaging in sexual abusive acts and videos documenting this abuse. They're involved. It's just disgusting. So they basically adopted these children with the whole intent of, exploiting them and abusing them sexually.
Right.
It's man. And, I don't think jail.
We got to keep our eye on those stories too, because a lot of times these people get slaps on the wrist.
Yeah.
And get let right back out here to go continue doing what they do. It's just that somehow they got a little sloppy, and they had to do something. They had to do something. But yeah, we got to keep our eye. When we hear stories like that, we got to keep our eye on how things go as far as the case is concerned.
Yeah, and one more, because I think that, we're seeing so much of this lately with these young up and coming rappers or artists, whether they're mainstream or, just the town rappers or so. I don't know what it's called, underground, stuff like that. But Stockton rapper Young Slow B shot and killed at the age of 29. So this was just yesterday. And so he was shot to death in broad daylight. People didn't even have a chance to get their morning coffee before hearing about the death of Stockton rapper Young Slow B. Stockton, California rapper Young Slow B has died. The rapper, project manager at Bizzler on the Roof, confirmed to Pitchfork. According to CBS News, Slow B was involved in a shooting in Manteca, California, and was found dead Friday morning, August 5th. The whole team mourned him and are shaken to think of the loss of the massive potential to a senseless act of violence. He was only 29 years old.
RP to that brother.
I never heard of him. Stockton, California is about 6 hours away from me.
That's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask if you heard of him, because I asked my son. My son had never heard of him. I never heard of him. And that's something that we see a lot lately. Like you said they're underground rappers or whatever the case may be. A lot of times, these people get killed, don't really have any notoriety as rappers. They're not in the industry like that. They don't really, they're not selling out shows nowhere. They're not really, it's like they fit a certain description because of what they rap about and how they ended up getting killed. And so the media, after they get killed, unfortunately, then the media wants to acknowledge their rap career.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like some type of code word that they use just to throw, okay, this is what rap is. You know what I'm saying? Just keep dumping all of this violence and all of this garbage on rap culture. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to justify the Fonnie Lewis's and all of these prosecutors doing these damn federal investigations and getting people indicted over their lyrics. And, you know, you got the mayor out there in New York with the drill task force and all of this shit that they got going on. Though that's what the media is. The media is playing their part to justify the targeting of the genre. You know, it's just the hip hop police all over again. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of these people, they're not really rappers, man. You know what I'm saying? Nigga just happen to have a mixtape, or he got a couple of freestyles on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? But if something were to happen to me, I was talking with my son about this. If something were to happen to me, unfortunately, they wouldn't say I was a rapper. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't bring that up. And I rap. Shit, I got a mixtape. You know what I mean? But I don't fit that description. I don't rap about, you know, the bullshit. I'm not involved in none of the bullshit. I'm not a drill rapper or whatever the case may be. And so they wouldn't describe me that way. You know what I'm saying? And
then also your music wouldn't fit the narrative. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just some bullshit that they. Only way that would happen. And we ain't speaking nothing into existence, man. We ain't speaking nothing into existence.
Absolutely
but,
not.
you know, if I was to have like some type of altercation with a race soldier or something like that, then it might be a different story in the media. You know what I mean? It might be a different story because once they go through the archives, they're gonna be like, oh shit. He was one of those.
These young rappers, up and coming artists, people that want to get into the industry, like that one. I don't know what he was. But he was like on social media, you know, I guess going in on some people or whatever, and minutes later he goes downstairs in his apartment, complex, telling them to meet him outside, and they met his ass, and you know he's no longer here. So we have to stop playing with that, you know, that social media gangster. You know, we just can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not cool. If you're not about that life, if you're not really wanting the smoke, don't ask for the smoke.
Right. And you don't want the smoke. Let me just say that part. You know what I mean? It's not a challenge, my nigga. It's not a challenge. You don't want the smoke. We don't want you to want the smoke.
No.
Just chill out, my nigga. Live your life. A lot of y'all are very young, have a lot of potential. You know what I'm saying? Don't get caught up in social media and these drill rappers and shit that y'all looking at, giving y'all these, you know, piss poor ideas about life. That ain't it, family. Y'all supposed to be chilling at y'all age. Y'all supposed to be chilling, living your best lives, man.
Right.
Not putting all of these worries on yourself and on your family. You know what I'm saying? It's unnecessary. And I talk to a lot of the young dudes out here in my area, you know what I'm saying? Because like it's so much opportunities for these young dudes out here, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you an athlete or anything like that, but not even just that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a good balance here compared to where I'm from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where I'm from, like, it seemed like all of the young dudes were headed in one direction. You know what I'm saying? All of them, you just kind of know, like, it's a matter of time, you know what I'm saying? Prison, jail, it's kind of on the way. But down here, it's a healthy balance, and it was kind of like a shock when I first got here too, because you'll see a dude with locks, tattoos on his face, gold teeth in his mouth, and he's sitting in the chair. I start talking with him, and this nigga's an engineer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't judge a book by its cover.
You know what I mean? It was a shock to me when I first got here to see that. You know what I mean? To start talking to them and see that, you know, oh no, this dude he ain't on no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They got the look, got the tattoos and the gold teeth and all of that shit, but this dude is in school. You know, he got a good career coming up ahead of him, or it might be already in the career, whatever the case may be. And that's how it is in this area. And it's kind of hard to tell just by looking.
Right.
You can't tell just by looking. When you see these young dudes, you can't just judge them like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them got shit going on. A lot of these niggas know about crypto and NFTs, and they out here trading, and they doing their thing. I be getting A lot of gems from young dudes that be coming in the shop. They be putting us on to what's going on out here in the digital world and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
It's good to know that they're actually tapped into it too. You
real.
know what I'm saying? The fact that they're tapped into it and learning, you know what I'm saying, and giving you some game on it. That's good to know that, you know, not everybody's with the foolishness because, you know, obviously if you're looking at social media or, you know, white media, the only thing we see is bad stuff. So I love to hear that young Black males and females, you know, are something different and empowering themselves and, you know, trying to do better and take care of their families and themselves.
Yeah, I love to see it. Oh, sheesh.
Oh, look at him. Oh.
Show in. Damn. Almost got a Charlie horse just now. Y'all was about to see a nigga.
Charlie.
About to see the bitch come out of nigga on this broadcast.
Charlie.
Let's get out of here before I start crying or something, man.
Right. All right, y'all. Well, thank you again for tapping in on this Sunday for another great episode of Sincere Love the Godcast, our Sunday episode where we talk about everything pertaining to the Black community, or everything that's relevant to the Black community. Make sure you guys are tapped in this Tuesday
Wednesday.
Wednesday for season 2 of the Black Business Showcase with our special guest, which will be announced within 24 to 48 hours. New time, or this time, is going to be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure that you guys are tapped in with Sincere Love the God on all platforms. You can check me out on Instagram at nyctegur with the number 1, nyctegur without the 1 on Twitter. Make sure you're tapped in because we will be unveiling our awesome guest for this Wednesday. And thank you again for tapping in tonight.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I think that about does it, man. You summed it up real good. So all I got to say is, remember, we are not the master teachers, but we are the master students and signal boosters for Voices of the New Black Media. We'll see y'all in a couple days, family. Make sure y'all subscribe, click the notification bell. Peace.
And share.
And Black love.
Do for self or suffer the consequences. The wisdom of Elijah's inside of the conscientious. So I move.